Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Trauma Camp for Teachers podcast. I'm your host, Julia Rose Polk, trauma therapist and trainer and guide from the side on anything related to trauma-informed schools. I am so excited to be here with you in this episode. So today we're talking about this little thing called hope, the North Star in our dark nights of the soul, the thing that helps us wake up in the morning despite our circumstances. Hope can actually be defined as a belief or expectation that some desired outcome in the future is possible. I don't know about all of you, but I have certainly had my fair share of dark nights of the soul. Really bleak, hopeless moments in life where I didn't know or believe that something was going to change. And in those moments of bleakness and hopelessness, it might have been reading a piece of literature that spoke to my heart, or listening to a song, or having a loved one remind me of brighter days or a brighter future, or reminding me of my own capacities and ability to get through life's terms. But hope has played a tremendous role in my life and in my healing from trauma. And there's this study that I think demonstrates hope. It's kind of a bleak study, I'm going to be honest with you, but this study was done and it really represents hope. I just want to I want to have a frank conversation about what this taught us about hope. So in the 1950s, there was a study done by researchers where one at a time, a rat was put inside a small barrel filled with water. And they just left it there. And pretty immediately, the rat would drown. And they did this with several rats. And they estimated that it took a few minutes before the rat would drown, right? Rats are not meant to be swimmers. There's not anything to hold on to. They drown pretty quickly. And what they did in the study, once they understood the length of time, the few minutes before a rat would give up and die, they started having one of the researchers go in and grab the rat and just take it out for a couple minutes and then put it back into the water and then leave it. And from that single experience alone, from having a hand come in and scoop you up and then put you back in the water, the rats would then swim for hours and hours and hours. And what they concluded from this study is just by that single intervention, that little bit of respite, they went from not knowing that anything was out there at all to understand that something was out there and there was the potential that it could come back. That's the power of hope, right? How many times in our lives as human beings, when we've been going through devastation or a traumatic experience of our own or tremendous loss, and that bleakness and that hopelessness sets in. This is what is kind of poetically or in literature thought of as the dark night of the soul, right? We don't know that something will change, that it can change. And someone comes into your life and says that one thing that helps you register a little bit of hope, helps that flame ignite inside of you, that belief that something is possible to change in the future, right? I think that's really important when we are talking about teaching and working with traumatized students or traumatized families or traumatized communities, is understanding the power you have in igniting the flame of hope. Now, it's not our individual responsibility to carry the load of everyone around us. It's not possible, right? But it is powerful to think about the effect that we can have on another person's life. I'll say for me personally, part of my expertise as a trauma-informed educator comes from lived experience. It's not all, most of this isn't stuff I read out of a book. Most of this is stuff I've learned through my own trauma healing journey. Books have been helpful too. Trainings have been helpful too. But a lot of this comes from my own experience. And I think about what a long time it took and has taken for me to find people to be in partnership or friendship with that treated me kindly and respectfully and well. There was a lot to unlearn in that relational realm for me. And the power of encountering people throughout my life who treated me kindly, treated me respectfully, cared about what I had to say, cared about my feelings, made space for my ideas, my humor, my personality. All of that was instilling a flame of hope that, hey, there are people out there that can treat me with the love and care and respect that I so crave. And here I am. I've been alive for a couple of decades, and that's the power of those little moments of hope. And here I am on the other side, having really deep, rich relationships with the people in my life. I don't have many people in my life who mirror what I grew up with, right? I have really safe relationships here in adulthood. And the bridge to this place was built through small interactions over time with people who felt safe. So when we talk about hope, this is what we're talking about: the ability to light a flame that wasn't a light before. And what I want to invite you to do is think about someone who instilled hope in your life. Oftentimes we talk about it in the realm of professional successes, right? I saw this person do that and I knew that I could do it. I felt represented when I saw that person receive the Oscar. And so I knew that it was possible for me, right? This is part of the cultural narrative today. What I also want you to think about is, if you've experienced trauma of your own and are on your own trauma healing journey, who has shown up in your life and turned on that flame of hope for you around that? So maybe you came from a neglected childhood where your needs weren't met. Maybe you came from an abusive school experience and you experienced trauma in that way. Maybe you have community violence that you grew up being exposed to. What experiences or people came into your life to give you a sense of hope that something different was possible? That's what I want to hear about. And so my invitation for you at the end of this episode is to go on over to Instagram. You can find me at Trauma Camp for Teachers. And I want you to send me a DM. I want to hear from you. I want to hear about that teacher who made a difference, about that auntie that made a difference in your life, about that class you took and that professor that made a difference, about that person you met in the coffee shop that said that thing to you that helped you understand something you didn't know about yourself. I want to understand what has given you hope in your life. And so go ahead, DM me. It can be a video, it can be an audio, it can be just a little text, but I want to hear from you. These are the stories that make our lives meaningful. And they're the stories that help us learn about the power we have on other people. And so actually what I want to do is, I am a firm believer in the value of all forms of life, and that includes animals. And so what I want to do is actually just take a moment of silence to say thank you to the rats whose lives were taken as a part of this experiment, and through whose sacrifice we now get to learn more about ourselves and our own resilience and life. So I'm going to take a moment, and I hope you'll join me in just pouring some gratitude and thanks and appreciation into the room and into the world. Thank you, fellow beings. All right. Thanks everyone for joining me for this episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.